This video is on the topic of the human digestive system. The human digestive system is responsible for breaking down our food into a soluble form so that it can be absorbed into the blood and transported to our cells. The digestive system is comprised of the alimentary canal, which is a long tube running from your mouth to your anus, and accessory organs, which produce substances needed for digestion. If you have trouble distinguishing which parts belong to the alimentary canal, remember that it includes any part through which food passes. The parts of the alimentary canal include the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. Each of these parts perform a specific function during the process of digestion. The mouth contains the teeth, which will mechanically break down food into smaller pieces during chewing. This exposes more surface area for the action of enzymes. Once food is chewed and shaped into a bolus, it moves through the esophagus to the stomach thanks to wave-like contractions of the muscular wall called peristalsis. In the stomach, food will be further broken down by churning, while enzymes called proteases will break down protein. Hydrochloric acid secreted by the stomach wall kills bacteria and creates the optimum pH for enzyme action. Next, the food enters the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. Here the process of digestion will finish in the alkaline pH created by the secretions of the accessory organs, such as the liver and pancreas. The last part of the small intestine is the ileum, and here absorption of digested food molecules will take place. This part of the small intestine is lined with villi, which increases the surface area for absorption. The final part of the journey involves the large intestine. No digestion occurs here, and only water is absorbed from the contents in the colon. This solidifies the contents into feces, which will temporarily be stored in the rectum before leaving the body through the anus. The accessory organs of the human digestive system include the salivary glands, pancreas, liver, and gallbladder. These organs each fulfill a specific role during the process of digestion, even though food does not directly pass through them. The salivary glands secrete amylase enzymes that will start the process of starch digestion. This will be completed in the duodenum of the small intestine. The pancreas is the digestive enzyme powerhouse of the body and produces amylase, protease, and lipase, which will break down carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. The secretions of the pancreas will increase the acidic pH of the fluid leaving the stomach to ensure that digestive enzymes can function properly. The liver is another important organ as it produces bile, which will break lipids up into small droplets. This is called emulsification and is an example of mechanical digestion. Bile will also help to neutralize the acidic pH of the fluid leaving the stomach. The liver is also responsible for the deamination of excess amino acid. Lastly, the gallbladder serves as a storage place for bile until it is released into the duodenum. Avoid the common mistake in an exam of saying that the gallbladder produces bile. That is the function of the liver. Here is an example of the type of question you could expect to see in an exam. This question contains two command words: identify structure C and then state its function. To identify C, we need to look at where it is located in the digestive system. Structure C is located next to the liver and is tiny in size. This indicates that it is the gallbladder. As mentioned earlier, the function of the gallbladder is to store the bile that is produced by the liver. Do not confuse the function of these two organs. The next question relies on your knowledge of the events occurring in the different parts of the digestive system, so be sure to familiarize yourself with this. The part of the digestive system where most water is reabsorbed is D, the colon. You are only required to write down the letter, not the name, so be sure to follow the instructions. The next part of the question requires you to identify where mechanical digestion takes place. There are two possible answers here: A, the mouth where you chew your food, and B, the stomach where churning occurs. Finally, you must identify where starch is broken down. Again, there are two places where this happens: A, the mouth where amylase is released by salivary glands, and E, the duodenum, where the pancreas release amylase to complete starch digestion. In summary, the human digestive system is comprised of the alimentary canal and the accessory organs. The alimentary canal forms a continuous tube along which food moves to be digested into soluble molecules. The accessory organs will each play an important role in facilitating the process of digestion, even though food does not directly move through it. Don't forget to check out all our other fantastic revision resources here at Save My Exams.